Welcome back to another edition of the Puckett Homestead. We're going to be making some cinnamon rolls. As you can see, I'm going to be using my bread machine again. That's what I have, so that's what I use. First thing you need to do is take 1 cup of milk, and to this we're going to add 1/4 cup of butter, or half a stick. You're going to take that over to your microwave, and we're going to microwave this for a minute. You're wanting to get it warm so it helps the yeast interact. So we'll run this for a minute. Okay, now that it's done, you want to take it out. You're going to take your whisk and you're going to stir this around till your butter is completely melted into your milk. You don't want this too cold, it'll kill your yeast. You don't want it too warm, it'll kill your yeast. You want to put that into your bread machine pan. Next, you want to add 2 beaten eggs. You can see they've been beat up. Next, you want to add 4 cups of flour. You can use bread flour or regular flour, whichever one you prefer. I'm using regular flour. Next, you want to add 2½ teaspoons of yeast. Then you need to add 1/2 cup of regular sugar. Then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Next, you're going over to your bread machine. Then put this in your bread machine and lock it in. We're going to hit the dough cycle, which is cycle number 8 on my machine. You're going to hit start. Now this will run about 1.5 hours. Once this is done, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step of this. Alright, now we've got this little flour. We're going to turn this out on a floured surface. Sometimes the humidity, the temperature's got a lot to do with your dough and your baking. Right now it's well below 0 with the wind chill factor, so I figure that's got something to do with it. The dough is just a little bit sticky. It's not bad. We're going to get the paddle out. Then we're going to set a timer and let this rest for 10 minutes. While it's resting, I'll get the stuff ready and come back and we'll make our filling. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, now we're going to make our filling for it. You're going to need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Use 1/4 cup or 1/2 stick of butter is what it is, melted. Now you can brush this onto your dough when it's rolled out, but I'll just rather do it this way and get it out of the way. Then you're going to take a tablespoon or more to your taste of ground cinnamon, and you're going to mix this up. You're going to spread this out, and then you're going to take and spread it on with your hands or a spatula, however you can to get it spread out. And if it's too dry, you can add a little more butter. If it's too wet, you can add a little bit more brown sugar, but I'm thinking this is going to be pretty good once we get it done. Alright, I'll bring you back in a minute when we roll this out. Alright, the next step in this endeavor is we're going to roll this out into a triangle, or I mean a rectangle. We're going to roll it down to about 1/2 inch thick or so, maybe 1/4 inch, no thicker than that. And right there is where I want to go with it. Try to get it as square as I possibly can. I mean, you're never going to get it exactly perfect. You can try. Now I'm going to turn you over to Sarah. She's going to rub the filling in. You're going to coat all this with every bit of it that you can with this filling. Now you're probably going to have to get your hands dirty at this point, because you don't want to pull the dough. So you need to drop little dollops here and there and then work it in. Now once you get it all dolloped out there the way you want it, you're going to take and spread it out. Now she's going to use her offset cake spatula. You want to get it spread evenly all over the dough. And that way when it bakes you have a nice even flavor, not too much of one thing or the other where it shouldn't be. Now after you get this done, you can see she's got it evenly coated. You want to take and roll this thing up. Kind of fold it against itself, roll it up. Now, the next step, this is about an inch from the tip of your finger to your first joint. So you want to try to cut these things about an inch thick. Now, some people use a knife, some use thread. I'm just using my pastry cutter. Now because the pastry cutter likes to push these, when you take it over to your pan, now the end ones are always a little on the other side. When you take it over to your pan, you want to form them back into more of a pastry shape. Alright, now I won't make you watch me cut all these, put them in. I'll be back when they're all in the pan. Alright, we're back. As you can see, we've got them cut, we've got them put in our pan. We kind of got them formed back into a roll. Now the next step, you're going to cover this thing and put it someplace warm. I'll show you the someplace warm. We're going to let them raise for about an hour or till they're double in size. Then we'll bring back and we'll bake them. Alright, as promised, here's our someplace warm. We have trivets up on top of our wood stove that we set this on. We're going to leave it about an hour. When it's raised and doubled in size, we'll be back to bake it. Alright, it actually went about 45 minutes instead of an hour. As you can see, they've doubled in size. So the next thing you're going to do is put these in a 375 degree oven for like 20 minutes or until they're done. So I'm going to put these in and I'll be back when they're done to show you what the next step is. Alright, we're back. It's been 20 minutes. We're going to take a look at these things. They ought to be done. Oh yeah, as you can see, they're good and done. Now we're going to let them cool, and we'll make the icing here a little bit when they're cool and put it on there, and I'll be back to show you how to do the icing. Alright, now we're going to finish the last of this. For this recipe, for the icing, we need 2 cups of powdered sugar. We're going to add that to our mixer. Next, we want to add 2 tablespoons of softened butter, room temperature. Then you want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. That's all you need to add, 1 teaspoon of it. Now you need 1 to 3 tablespoons of milk, depending on how thick you want this. You're going to mix this on a very, very low speed, or you can hand mix it if you have to. Now when you get that mixed, you want to move over to your cinnamon rolls. You're going to take your mix and then you want to drizzle this over your cinnamon rolls. You can go as light or as heavy as you want to go for each roll, or you can put this in the refrigerator if you wanted to and top it as you take which one out. I like to go ahead and put it on, that way I don't have to worry about heating up the mixture or something getting into it. It's already combined. And there you are, that's all there is to it. If you like this, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos. As always, if you have a comment, drop us a comment. Thank you.